main event was Last Man Standing, Wwe Nxt versus Trick Williams, and this match was the definition of hardcore. I loved it. There was a spot though, Trick running into the barricade and of course hitting his head on the metal post as he did it. Hitting it so hard he busted himself open the hard way. How that match was able to continue, I've got no idea. But I'm pleased it did because genuinely, what a cool main event. There was a hell of a spear by Wwe Nxt to Trick through the commentary desk, sending Vic Joseph's candy flying, I might add, which would see Wwe Nxt retain the NXT Championship. He did so, though, by shoving Trick back down. I thought if there was contact, that the count had to restart. Then, though, the return we've been waiting for. Oba Femi is back. Nothing happened. We sort of went with a silhouette of him on the stage. But honestly, you got to think he's coming for the NXT Championship, isn't he? Very, very cool way to end this week's NXT. But let's cover everything else, because this is things you might have missed from NXT. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. The NXT Women's Champion, Tatum Paxley, will kick off the show tonight alongside the Culling. Tatum started by apologising to Izzy Dame, Izzy just reiterating what she said before, that Tatum needs to be more selective of whom she gives championship matches to. Emerged the former NXT Women's Champion, Jacy Jayne, and Jacy coming out saying, you know what, I agree with you, you should be more selective, you should select me, I deserve a rematch. Tatum Paxley sort of thought about it for a bit and then agreed the match will happen next week at Gold Rush, Tatum versus Jacy for the title. The reaction of the Culling obviously tell the story here. They really didn't want Tatum to do this. But I'm hopeful Tatum retains because we still keep seeing it again this week. Izzy looking at the championship. Shawn Spears looking at Izzy. Surely that turn's going to happen. It could even happen next week. A first ever WWE title belt tonight for Jasper Troy as he becomes the new Speed Champion. Jasper defeating El Grande Americano after El Grande got caught with that metal plate by the referee. I think a lot of people expected this just because of the schedule of El Grande Americano. He's not only working Monday Night Raw, he's also making appearances in Mexico for AAA, so obviously he's a very busy man. Is he going to be also making appearances regularly to defend the Speed title on NXT? It was always going to be unlikely. You know what though? I really like this. I hate the concept of the Speed title. However, when I look at Jasper Troy, I believe he could destroy people in under 3 minutes. So, him as the Speed Champion, therefore, could make a lot of sense. And actually, could portray him very well if given the decent run I think he could have. Sol Ruca is provisionally medically cleared, and the choice tonight was hers. Does she want to face Blake Monroe next week or at Deadline? Well, of course, she chose next week at Gold Rush. So huge women's North American title match for next week. But I feel like we can't scoot over that fact. Ava really drumming it home tonight. That obviously this doesn't mean that Sol's okay. That there is a lot of risk for Sol Ruca to go to the ring next week. So are we looking at potentially some kind of storyline that writes Sol off for even longer because of her decision? And I have already seen people theorising on social media, what if Zaria turns next week and obliterates a not 100% Sol Ruca? Later on, we would find out Blake Monroe's better half is the woman from hell herself. Either that, or there's a massive plot twist that Blake Monroe has a twin sister, and that would be a hell of a storyline. But yeah, no, Blake Monroe on the left actually addressed this and said the one on the right is the glamour that needs to be seen, and the one on the left is the woman from hell that needs to be remembered. With evil Blake telling glamour Blake that she has to be more ruthless, that she needs her because Sol Ruca is the total package, that this Blake Monroe needs to combine and always be there for each other to get through Sol Ruca at Gold Rush. I really like this, and honestly, this is what Bayley's character should have been, genuinely. We should have seen Hugger Bayley. We should have seen the other Baileys talking to one another in this way. Pretty much every wrestler has to cut a promo. Well, if you can cut a promo with yourself and converse and explain and plan, it hooks the viewer. It tells the viewer everything you need to know, and I really like that. What did you think of this, though? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm just excited we're going to see the woman from hell potentially next week at Gold Rush. A match sponsored by Panda Express tonight, which would never happen under Vince McMahon. You know Vince McMahon didn't like those pandas. It was Thea Hale taking on Alba Fyre, with Thea Hale picking up the win tonight and obviously getting that momentum for her match when she teams with Joe Hendry versus Chelsea Green and Ethan Page for the AAA Mixed Tag Team titles. With Leon Slater on the Titantron, it was Javon Evans announcing they've got a shot at Dark State's tag team titles. That, of course, would bring out Dark State, but it was all a ruse. Javon and Leon luring Dark State in, building some bit of momentum before their tag team title match next week at MSG. No doubt that's going to be a whole lot of fun, but before we get there, Monday, Javon Evans will be on Raw. He will fight Gunther, and he spoke about it. He spoke about what it means to compete at MSG at 21 years old. I still don't like Javon's chances in this tournament, bearing in mind he's facing Gunther, but he's going to put on a banger, isn't he? Fallon Henley had success tonight, defeating a debuting Skylar Rae. Fallon Henley will progress to the Women's Speed Championship finals as she will take on Zaria. We had a moment tonight backstage between Trick and Kalani Jordan. Do you know what? I really like this. This was two people who used to be faces, who are now heels, that know, they think at least, they're doing the right thing. I actually really think WWE should pursue an on-screen partnership between Trick and Kalani, because just imagine when they get called up and Carmelo Hayes is the boyfriend in real life of Kalani Jordan. What a storyline that could be. Tavion Heights successful tonight. He defeated Josh Briggs in one-on-one action. Genuinely very fun, good match. NXT advertised tonight for their new live events. And of course, look at this. Sheamus, Grayson Waller, Lyra Valkyria, Otis, and JD McDonough part of this live event tour. Honestly, I think that's really cool. The main roster now very rarely does live events, so it's very cool to see the main roster superstars getting some live event time. I do also wonder, though, if this is part of, okay, we're going to trial some people out for that big Saturday night main event announcement we heard last night on Raw from the new Intercontinental Champion John Cena, that Saturday night's main event that will play host to his final match will see main roster superstars versus NXT superstars in exhibition matches. A decent show tonight. That main event was absolutely brilliant. For me, a very respectable 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and I will catch you as always next time. Peace!